Hello and welcome to NEWUP Weather News for this winter weather alert on Thursday, January 11th, 2024. We're discussing the impending winter storm that's going to be impacting our area tomorrow, which is Friday, and Saturday, January 12th and 13th, 2024. So we're going to go ahead and get started right away with looking at the advisories and warnings that are in place. Right now, as you can see, the entirety of our area is under a winter storm warning for the Wisconsin counties. This will be in effect until Saturday at noon. For the Upper Peninsula counties, this is going to be in effect until 6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for the incoming snow. And you can see several other advisories and blizzard warnings, and there's still some winter storm watches out in western Wisconsin. Some of the things you may not see on this map include a storm watch, which has been issued for, a storm warning, which has been issued for Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, as well as a lakeshore flood advisory, which is in place for Marquette County until 7 a.m. on Sunday. And I believe there is also some heavy freezing spray warnings in effect for the lakeshore counties also. So definitely something that this storm is going to be bringing in a lot of different hazards. So we're going to go ahead and get into the models and show you what's going to be going on. We're going to start with the HRRR model, and this is the latest run. So this is midnight tonight going into tomorrow, and you can see that the snow has slowed down a little bit. However, the intensity is still there. I think this snow is going to begin moving into our area between 9 a.m. and noon tomorrow. So this is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and folks in Lincoln and Oneida County could be seeing snow, a little bit of light snow, but that main forcing is going to come in. Here's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You can see that now most of northern Wisconsin and the western Upper Peninsula is into snow by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock on Friday tomorrow morning. This is noon tomorrow. The heaviest snow does still look to stay to our south and east. However, this snow is going to be a little bit, there's going to be more because the snow ratios are going to be higher, allowing for a lighter, fluffier snow. So again, this is noon tomorrow on the HRRR model, and you can see some of those darker snow bands, one that's running across western Vilas and Oneida County into Gogebic, Iron, and then up towards Marquette County, and another darker band lining up sort of over northern Oconto, middle Marinette County. These aren't exactly where this is going to be, but you can see that there's going to be some heavier snow bands that do set up. This would be 6 a.m., so dinner time tomorrow, and we are still heavy into the snow, that low pressure system just moving into lower Michigan. You notice that it says 973. This is a really deep low pressure system. You can also notice the isobars are really close together, indicating we are going to have some strong winds, and I'll actually be showing you that a little bit more in the video coming up in just a minute. But let's continue on with our model run. This would be midnight Friday going into Saturday. Again, you can see the snow is starting to let up, but we are still in snow. And now folks in Marquette County, northern Baraga County, you're going to be seeing really heavy lake effect snow, because this storm is going to pack some serious northeast winds, and then eventually they're going to turn to north winds. So let's take it to 6 a.m. on Saturday. You can see the snow is now starting to break up across southern Wisconsin. However, all of us up here in the Northwoods and in the Upper Peninsula, we are still inundated with some light snow. It's not going to be nearly as heavy as it was on Friday night. Friday is kind of is the peak day. But then as the day goes on and we get to noon on Saturday, you can see that the storm now over northern lower Michigan is starting to pull away. And I think what you're seeing here on this particular model is just residual snow / lake effect snow that's really going to be ramping up again, especially across Marquette, Baraga, Ontonagon, and Houghton County. And you'll see that in my snow prediction map in just a little bit, where those areas could see some really impactful lake effect snow. This is the North American model, and it's following a similar path. So this is midnight. You can see the snow hasn't quite gotten into Wisconsin yet, but by 6 a.m. it is reaching central and southern Wisconsin. By 9 a.m., you can see that the snow is still pushing into some of our southern counties, and by lunchtime, we should be expecting to mostly all be in snow. So again, this is going to be moving in the early morning. And something I forgot to mention when I was talking in the HRRR, there is a possibility for some freezing drizzle leading up to the start of this storm for tonight and into tomorrow morning. So if you have to travel, please be careful because the roads may get icy. And you can see the snow continues on with some of those heavier bands. This would be midnight going into Saturday. Snow is still ongoing, but then it starts to break up. This is noon on Saturday. You can see we're just left with some residual snow and the lake effect snow up in the upper peninsula. But those strong winds now are still prevalent throughout most of the day on Saturday, and they'll gradually calm down. As I stated earlier, winds are going to be really strong with this storm. This is back to the HRRR model, and you can see the darker the colors, the blues, the purples and pinks, the darker the color is, the stronger the wind is. So you can see as this storm approaches, you can see the stronger winds as it rotates around the low pressure system. So this would be going into noon on Friday, especially for folks along the lakeshore. So if you're in Menominee or Delta County, southern Marinette, southern Oconto County, and you're along the Bay of Green Bay, you're really going to be impacted by these winds the most. Everyone is going to be seeing strong winds, however. So we're going to take it to 6 p.m., and you can see these really dark reds on the lake. That wind is just going to be cruising. I'm going to get a little reading here. So 42 knots, I'll go ahead and put on the screen what 42 knots is to miles per hour. But even that's across an open water, of course. But you can see here, Florence County, 15 knots, and same thing, northern Marinette and Forest County, and pretty much all throughout. But if you get into the southern Marinette, southern Oconto County, that wind speed is getting a little bit stronger. And as that storm deepens, you're going to see that the heavier winds are going to stay across the Green Bay and the Fox Valley area, but we are still going to be seeing plenty of wind up here. And if you look really carefully, right along the lake shore of Marquette County, and again to Baraga County, kind of around Baraga and Lance, right in the Keweenaw Bay, and then right at the tip of the Keweenaw up towards Copper Harbor, you're going to be seeing those winds push in pretty strong. As that low starts to pull away, you're going to see the winds continue on the backside. They're just going to shift to the north, but then eventually those winds will calm down. This model stops at noon on Saturday, but you can see that the winds, especially even in most of our area, with the exception of the lakeshore areas, they are much lighter than they were during the storm. So strong winds coupled with the light, fluffy snow is really going to be creating some blowing snow, drifting snow, things that we're really going to have to contend with. And that's where even on Saturday, travel could be treacherous because all of this snow is going to be blowing around. Snow totals are still all over the place as far as the models are concerned, so I tried to put together the best approximation that I could given the consistent models plus the data from the National Weather Service. So I think our western Wisconsin counties, Vilas, Oneida, Lincoln, Langlade, Forest, and even western Florence County could see between 4 and 7 inches of snow with this storm. And then in a ring around that from Gogebic County up through Iron County, southern Marquette, down into Dickinson, eastern Florence, northern Marinette, northern Oconto, and even southern Langlade County could see about 6 to 10 inches of snow. And then around that, closer to the lakes, we'll be seeing 8 to 13 inches. And a lot of that will be driven by that northeast to north wind that will be moving that lake effect snow across the area. So expect snow to move in from the south mid to late morning tomorrow. And remember that we could be dealing with some freezing drizzle tonight going into tomorrow morning before the snow arrives. This is going to be a light fluffy snow, so it should be easier to move that, but that just means there's going to be more of it. And remember that the winds are going to be extremely strong, so even on Saturday, travel could be pretty precarious. So please, if you must travel either tomorrow or Saturday, please do so with caution. And then we are going to really get into some cold temperatures, but that information will be coming out on my video on Sunday. That's the most up-to-date information I have right now. If there's anything that changes between now and tomorrow morning, I will be sure to put out a Facebook post. It's a little bit easier for me to do Facebook posts in the morning and videos in the evening, but I will do what I can to get any new information out to you on the NEWUP Weather News Facebook page. If you don't follow us, facebook.com/NEWUP Weather News, all one word, and you can follow us on Facebook as well as here on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. Be safe if you have to travel tomorrow. Of course, shovel smart when it's time to clean up all of the snow, and just take good care during the storm and be safe. Have a good night, and we will talk to you soon.